What's up guys, Daniel here. I've been getting a lot of requests for Wyatt Flores tutorials and it makes me happy because he's one of my favorite new artists. I'm going to show you how to play If I Don't See You Again. It's in standard tuning, it uses a lot of picking and strumming, it's in 3/4 time. You want to know those things before you get started. And just so you know, the tabs are on my website, link is in the description. If you want to pull up one window that has all the tabs, they're going to be overlaid on the screen anyway, but just in case. Alright, so the first thing we're going to learn is the intro, and it sounds like this. So to do that first riff, you want to put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. You're going to pluck and slide up to the 5th fret. Then use your index or middle finger to go down to the 3rd fret again, pluck that note, and then down to the 2nd fret, pluck that one, and finally we're going to pluck a B open at the end. And now we're going to start inserting chords in between that riff. The first chord we're going to use is an E minor, so that's 2nd fret A and D. We're not going to use those notes for now, but you want to keep that chord shape. For E minor, we're going to pluck low E, B, low E, G. Now from here we're going to do that intro riff again, and move to a C chord. Now the C chord is 3rd fret A, 2nd fret D, open G, 1st fret B. We're going to pluck it similar to the way we did the E minor. You're going to pluck A, B, A, G. Do the intro riff again. And switch to G. G is 3rd fret low E, 2nd fret A, 3rd fret high E. Similar picking pattern. E, E, B, E, G. Now we're going to do the riff one more time. And then we're going to finally end on an open D, pluck that note, let it ring out, and finally we're going to do 3rd fret low E to 2nd fret low E, and it's a little walk down to the E minor which starts the verse. So from that riff to the end. So now I'll play it all together a little bit slower so you can practice. And regular speed. And then you move to the verse. Now there are 2 ways to play the verse, one picked, one strummed. The strum version is going to be a lot easier, I'll get to that next, but the picked version is much more satisfying to learn. So I'm going to play through the picked version first and then I'll walk you through it. It was a hard conversation that had to be had. The pressure was building, slow turning fast. Now I looked right into her blue eyes. She said her final goodbyes. So let's break that up into 2 halves. The first part uses the same chords we did in the intro, E minor, C, G, and D. The picking pattern for each of these chords is going to be root, root, B, what I'm going to call subroot, or the string just below the root, and then G. So for E minor, it's going to go E, E, B, A, G. Now if you can on the first beat of the chord, play the root and subroot at the same time. If not, just do the root. So again, E minor, we're going to play E, E, B, and then we're going to do an open A string and hammer onto the 2nd fret, and then G. Now from here we're going to move to a C chord and do the same thing. So this time pluck A, B, but we're going to do a hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string. So play open D, hammer on, and then G. Now we're going to move to G and do the same thing. Pluck E, E, B, open A, hammer onto the 2nd fret, G. And now finally D. This time you're going to pluck D, 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 G. No subroot this time because you only have 4 strings to play with. So all together, a little bit slower. And then regular speed, you're going to play this part twice. So you play that part twice, and then you move to the second half of the verse. Now this part uses a different progression. We're going to start with an A minor 7 and walk our way up to a C chord. Now the picking pattern for this is going to be root, root, B, root, G. So on the A minor 7 we got open A, 2nd fret D, open G, 1st fret B. We're going to pluck A, B, A, G. Now we're going to move to a C over B chord. All you have to do is go to the 2nd fret of the A string. We're going to play this one. A, B, A, G. Finally, we're going to get to a C chord. Pluck it the same way. A, B, A, G. Now we're going to stay on C, but we're going to do something a little different. You're going to pluck an open D string and hammer onto the 2nd fret. Then you're going to go B, A, G. So C gets played twice, a little bit differently. So all together. Now you're going to repeat the progression, starting with A minor 7. C over B. Now this time when you get to C, all you got to do is pluck the 3rd fret of the A string and let it ring out. So now the second half of the verse all together a little bit slower. And then regular speed. Now I looked right into her blue eyes. She said her final goodbyes. And from here you get into the chorus. But before we get into the chorus, I told you there was a strum version of the verse, so I'm going to show you that first. It's a lot easier. We're going to use the same progressions you just learned, and the strumming pattern is simply down, up, for each chord. So starting with the E minor, we're going to go down, up, and then switch to C. When you do the initial down strum on C, leave the D string open so you can hammer on to the 2nd fret. So down, up, switch to G, down, up, and then D. So to sound like this. Out of all of the others I've held in my arms, you're the one that felt like home. Oh, and you could say the same, darling, ain't that a shame? All the nights you spent alone. So now the same chords for the second half are used. So that's A minor 7, C over B, and then C 2 times, and we're going to play it again. A minor 7, C over B, C 2 times again, and finally we're going to move this C shape up 2 frets to a D add 4, 5th fret A, 4th fret D, open G for 3rd fret B, and you're just going to strum that one time, so that's not a big deal. And I looked right into her blue eyes as I said my final goodbye. And then you get into the chorus. So like I said, the strum version is a lot easier. If you want, you can play this during the first verse. It'll still sound good. Now the chorus has 3 progressions to learn. 2 of them are very similar. 1 is a little bit different, but they're all super easy. You're going to continue the strumming pattern you did from the verse I just showed you. So each chord gets down, up, and I'll show you those chords now. So the first progression we're going to use is going to be G 2 times, A minor 2 times, C 2 times, and then we're going to go G once, and then D once. So to sound like this. second progression is almost exactly the same. You just change that last chord from D to D7. And D7 is just open D, 2nd fret G, 1st fret B, and 2nd fret high E. If we never cross paths and never look back, just know I'll always love you. Now the last progression changes entirely. It's going to go A minor 7, C over B, C, and then we're going to go up to that D add 4, which again is just a C shape, up 2 frets, and then we're going to do a little pick progression. Sounds like this. And you got a friend if I don't see you again. So that picked portion just gets you right back into the interlude, which is what we played in the intro. So again, A minor 7, C over B, C, D add 4, and then use a G shape. You're going to pluck E, E, B, E, G. And that'll get you back into this part. That D note was a little rough, but that's how you play the first chorus. Second chorus changes a little bit. So the change to the second chorus is at the end because it leads into the bridge. So that part you just learned from the A minor 7 to the D add 4 is exactly the same, but instead of doing the pick progression, we're going to strum a G chord 2 times, and then we're going to do a bit of a stretched chord. And it's a G7, so same G shape, but you're going to do the 1st fret of the high E string instead of the 3rd fret. This one's a little tough for beginners, but you're just going to do that one twice. So altogether, that portion goes, you got a friend if I don't see you again. And then you get to the bridge. Now the bridge is really easy because it's really just the end of the first chorus that you learned. It's going to be A minor 7, C over B, C, and then D add 4. You're going to play that progression 3 times with the strumming pattern we've been using. So that part 3 times, and then we're going to switch it up. The last progression is going to go E minor 2 times, and then D 1 time, and then we're going to do that lick we did in the intro. C, lick again, D. So a little bit slower. So now I'll play the bridge all together. She said, you got a damn life to live. She said, you gotta roll. 'Cause her heart was meant for staying right here. Mine was meant for the road. And that's how you play the bridge. I know this lesson is getting long-winded because I'm feeling it, but I've got one more chorus to show you. If you've learned something so far, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, really helps my channel out. Let me show you that last chorus. Now this chorus is like a hybrid between the strumming we did in the original chorus and the picking we did in the original verse. It sounds like this. If I don't see you again, this is really the end, and all of your dreams come true. Paths, never look back, just know I'll always love you. So again, it's a hybrid. So we're going to start with the G chord, do a single down strum, let it ring out, and then we're going to switch to that A minor 7 and pick through it. The picking pattern we're going to use is going to go root, root, B, root, G, just like we've been doing. Play that twice. Switch to C, root, root, B, this time we're going to do the hammer onto the second fret of the D string, and then go to G. And you do that one twice. Now we're going to move to G, root, root, B, subroot with the hammer on, so open A, hammer onto the second fret, G, and then finally we're going to go to a D chord and just pluck the D string and let it ring out. So now this progression all together. Now we're going to go back to G, but instead of strumming it like we just did, we're going to pick through it. Root, root, B, subroot with the hammer on, G. 2 times. Switch to A minor 7. Now when we get to C, you're going to do a single down strum on the whole chord, and let it ring out. And then you're going to do down, up, switch to G, down, up, and then finally end on D, down, up. So to go. And then you get into the very last chorus. So the second progression all together. And then you get to that last chorus. Well, if you made it through that entire lesson, I commend you because that took a lot out of me to teach. I hope you enjoyed it. Reminder that tabs are going to be available on my website. Link is in the description. If you have a request you would like to make, go ahead and do so in the comments below. Please put hashtag request so I can find it later when I'm searching my comments. And one last thing if you're still here. I've got a 1-tier membership option on my channel that I just decided I'm going to start putting the pro tabs that I make for these songs that you can check out, and it's only going to be for members. So the regular tabs are for free, but if you want the pro tabs, which is an entire playthrough of the song, you can check that out. There's a link somewhere down here that says become a member or join, something like that, so you can click it. It's not very expensive, but it would really help support my channel and my efforts in what I'm doing here. Again, thank you for making it this far into the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Snippet's going to play after this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.